But you know what? Like it comes down to this on a domestic issue, and I think Doug Ford was great for standing up for people to protect their own selves. You know, calling for castle doctrine, Marty. Can you believe that's? Would that be on your bingo card for 2025?
No, and actually, let's talk about it. Then I'll talk about something else that wasn't on my bingo card. But yeah, Doug Ford. Well, actually, I only heard it on a periphery. What happened? So there was was this the case related to the what triggered this? What triggered Doug's comments? What actual incident triggered Doug's comments?
So, okay, so that's where it's interesting, right? So before we get into Doug's comments, let's go into what happened to him. It actually came pretty close to home for Doug Ford. Someone tried to jack his car.
Right.
And the police thwarted that. So there's this article from the Western Standard. Ford calls Canada lawless society after mass suspects targeted his home. So they actually went to his place. Ontario Premier Doug Ford accused Canada of becoming a lawless society after 4 mass suspects attempted to steal a vehicle from his Etobicoke home early Tuesday morning. Police arrested all 4 suspects. So they didn't get away with it. They probably got out on bail, and he's pissed about that, which he should be. But I mean, we're talking about the same Toronto that said this, right?
To prevent the possibility of being attacked in your home, leave your fobs at your front door, because they're breaking into your home to steal your car. They don't want anything else. A lot of them that they're arresting have guns on them, and they're not toy guns; they're real guns.
Guess what? Yeah. Maybe people need to have real guns.
Yeah, now, or maybe you guys should go after the illegal gun owners and leave the legal gun owners alone. Yeah, okay.
This is where this all gets funny. This is all where it gets all funny. So Doug Ford made a statement, and I'll let you hear this one, because it cracks me right up that this is what he had to say right here.
Did you hear about the guy that these thugs came up, ready to steal his car? They're all in their masks and everything. So I guess he was a hunter or something. He shot up in the air. I don't recommend that, by the way, but he gets charged. I got to find out this guy's name and number, and I'm going to hold a fundraiser for lawyer fees for him. He should get a medal for standing up. It's like down in the U.S., we should have the castle law. Someone breaks into your house, and I know any of these people here, someone breaks into your house, and they're coming after your kids, and you're coming after your spouse, you're going to fight like you've never fought before. You're going to use anything that you have, be it weapons, baseball bats, knives. You're protecting your family. These thugs shouldn't be coming in there. Did you hear?
No, they shouldn't be coming in there. They should be afraid of coming in there because they don't know what you got. And that's really, they should be afraid. Absolutely.
Yeah, actually, Alberta is the closest province to have a castle law at this point, because we've had about 4 cases like that in the last decade that have been that have gone in favor of the people defending themselves. So I'd say that ends up setting precedents. So in Alberta, we've kind of set precedents that you can defend your house. And I know it's still not law, but you know what I mean? Like when 4 different judges rule that, the guy who shot in the air was one example, or the guy who shot somebody on his property isn't guilty, then it starts to set precedent. So I'm glad that some of the politicians are waking up. I mean, it's not funny, Doug, when it affects you, right? I mean, it's all all fun and games when it's my car, and but suddenly when it's yours, it's sad that we need to go after that the politicians need to be affected personally before they finally do something about something.
But it's amazing how little they know about the actual laws, Marty. So the case that he was citing was actually a homeowner from Vaughan, I think Ontario, and he's facing multiple charges after firing a warning shot up in the air at attempted car thieves. Now I'm not going to play the whole thing, but the case is this: the guy had a gun that he didn't even procure legally, so he didn't have the right to, possibly didn't have the right to own this firearm, and he ND'd into the air, like a negligent discharge into the air at these guys that were outside trying to steal his car. Now, anyone in that knows firearms, firearm safety, that kind of stuff, they know the 4 rules. And one of those 4 rules is know where the trajectory of your the bullets going.
Know what's behind your target, or know the trajectory. Absolutely.
Yes, and this guy negligent discharge in the air, just to scare people off. Like that's fine if you have like a starter pistol, you know what I mean, for starting like races with blanks in it. But if you've got a real gun, you can't just go firing that into the air, and you should always only ever fire it when necessary. This is
actually didn't a bunch of recent immigrants do that in BC? Didn't was it Brittany that had broke that story last year?
I don't think they were NDs. I think they were actual shots at the people, but they didn't hit.
Yeah. Oh wow, crazy. Yeah, no,
but
it's
if you ever have to discharge a firearm, do not tell the police that you gave a warning shot.
No, you have to make it look like you were absolutely threatened, so you need to go center mass.
Absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that I not recommended. Anyway, this guy, he's getting all kinds of firearms charges, which he's gonna end up going through court, a ton of court, all this other stuff. While the people that went to steal his car are gonna be out on bail.
Yeah, he needs to hire Ian. What's Ian's last name? Runkle.
Oh, Ian Runkle.
Yeah. And then he'll get him out. Actually, Ian doesn't get you out if it's actually that's the kind of case that's right up Ian's alley, I think. Or Ian's more the guy you call if the police confiscate some firearms because at a roadside check stop or something because they were improperly stored in your car or whatever. That's who you call Ian. If you're shooting in the air, you might want to call a different lawyer.
Yeah, it's never good. That
reminds me of that video you posted last week, and I think I posted it again. Remember that guy at that party dancing with the 9mm and just shooting it? If I saw a guy doing that at a party, I would have been like, "Holy smokes!" What? And I mean,
I get the hell out of there right away.
Yeah. I actually, I'm getting ready. I do this. I'm a range officer, so you know, right? I'm sure you knew that, but I don't do it anymore. But when I used to compete, we all had to go become range officers because about every 10th competition, you can't compete. You end up volunteering to be an officer, a range officer. Anyways, and that's one of the things we're highly attuned to is during shooting competition, if you sweep a part of your body or if you cross the 90-degree, I'm immediately going to whistle, tap you on the shoulder and tell you to stop. And then you're disqualified for that day, for the event that day. And it's very harsh, but it's part of the safety and it happens to everyone. And it happened to me a few times. It's very frustrating when you get disqualified, but in the heat of moment when you're competing, we used to set up courses.
And that's just going beyond 90 degrees?
Yeah. And we used to set up courses with little traps like that to try and get the guys and disqualify them. I remember one guy did a really clever job one time. He had swinging doors. And it's like, how do you open the door and shoot through the door? Well, you can do it properly. You open the door and then you aim through and shoot. But almost 50% of the competitors that day in that event swept themselves, which means that they were pushing with one hand. And while they were pushing with one hand, their hand was going in front of their gun. And guy after guy after guy was getting disqualified. Even when they knew not to do it, it was like, anyways, it's interesting topic. Yeah. Don't shoot in the air.
And don't shoot yourself.
No, and don't shoot yourself.
Don't flag yourself for other people at the range with the muzzle. That's a thing. Thanks for tuning in. This is actually a smaller clip from a larger conversation that took place on the channel. If you want to check that out, the link will be in the description down below. We'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.